What's your evaluation of this deal from what you've heard of it so far?
Well, I think it's terrific that they picked up the baton and carried it forward and made progress. You know, issues like beef or liquid natural gas are issues that we've been working on for years with the Chinese. I think now it's going to be, the proof is going to be in the pudding as to whether the Chinese uphold their end of the bargain.
Was there a reason they got this done? Because as you say, you'd been working on it for a while. They got this done at this particular time, or would have gotten done anyway? If you'd been there, would we have this deal today?
You know, I think that, you know, it's always opportunistic when things get completed, and the fact that this administration was able to, you know, make progress, I think is important.
It also sends a signal that we don't want to go to war with China.
Yeah, I mean,
figuratively, trade war.
I think absolutely. And look, the U.S. China relationship is one that needs to be enduring and strong between the two countries. We have our disagreements, we have our ups and downs, but it's important that we continue to make progress constantly.
Now, as Secretary of Commerce, you obviously were very concerned with trade. You had a lot of responsibility for trade. What do you make of the different approach of this administration? I mean, since almost World War II, we did a multilateral approach. We had GATT, and then WTO. This administration, this president has come in and said, I want to do it bilateral, like U.S. China, and it appears we're not going to do it sort of category by category, product by product. Is that an efficient way to do it?
Well, I think there's pros and cons, but I think there's costs to giving up multilateral agreements. For example, TPP, and I think that the Trump administration could have come in and made changes to TPP and had an agreement with 12 countries with, you know, a significant portion of the world's GDP. And that would have been really good for the United States because we would have set the rules of trade, shaped the global economy to our values. By pulling back and saying what we're going to do is bilateral trade agreements, that means that leaves a wide swath open for China, particularly in Asia, which I think is a challenge. And the United States is not included in those multilateral agreements. We need to raise the standard.
Now, you said that you had been working on things like beef, for example. From what you know of the possible agenda, Wilbur Ross said he has a one-year plan to get some more of these deals done. What would be high on your list to address next with China?
Well, I think intellectual property protection is a huge issue that faces many, many of our companies. So hopefully that's a place that progress can be made. We'll see.
Again, you were Secretary of Commerce, so you had to take a look at what makes U.S. industry competitive or not. Where does trade rank in the listing of what makes us competitive or not? And what are the other things we should be looking at?
Well, trade is really important in making us competitive, but we also need to be working on making sure that our workforce is prepared for jobs of the 21st century, and that we're creating opportunity for American workers. And I think that there's a lot of angst out there given the growth of automation, the growth of artificial intelligence, the fact we live in an interconnected, globalized world. There's a lot of anxiety among the American worker. What's my opportunity? What are the jobs going to be? We now have 55 million Americans working in the gig economy. So we need to rethink, I think, we need a strategic plan for training the American workforce over the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Why don't we have that plan? I mean, you were in the administration, now we have a new administration. I haven't heard that plan yet. Why don't we have it?
Well, I think it's time for us to come together on a bipartisan basis and to outline what that plan ought to include. We need to rethink the social safety net. We need to think about the higher education bill such that we're able to offer money to train American workers over their lifetime. There's a lot of different policy issues that I think that we should explore and put together a package that supports the American worker over the next 10, 20, 30 years.